Something inside me and I'm sharing it. I'm just cruising for clarity with a therapist. Hey, let me roll down the window. Hosted by Francisco Castillo. Hey, yeah, you deserve to be heard. Explore what you feel, no stress or concern. Hey, something inside me and I'm sharing it. I'm just cruising for clarity with a therapist. Let's go.
Hey everyone, I'm Francisco Castillo, your friendly neighborhood therapist, here to guide you on another journey into the mind and heart. Today we're diving headfirst into a topic that touches nearly every one of us: social media, self-esteem, and how the endless scroll of online comparisons can impact our well-being. Let me start with a quick question. How many times have you checked social media today? And be honest with yourself. How often did you catch yourself measuring your life, achievements, or appearance against someone else's curated posts? We've all been there. It's practically a rite of passage in the digital age. It's an intrinsic part of human nature to engage in comparison. However, social media has taken this age-old game and cranked up the intensity dramatically. But why is that? To unravel this mystery, let's first take a closer look at something psychologists call social comparison theory. This theory suggests that we determine our own social and personal worth based on how we stack up against others, an instinct as old as time itself, but now supercharged by platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. With every flick of the thumb or tap on the screen, we're bombarded with highlight reels from people's lives. But remember, these snippets are carefully selected moments designed to show only what people want others to see, their best sides. Understanding this theory is crucial because it sheds light on why many people feel inadequate or dissatisfied after spending just a few minutes online. So sit tight as we explore more about how these comparisons work in our minds and what steps you can take to maintain your mental health amidst all this noise. In 1954, the insightful psychologist Leon Festinger introduced a fascinating concept known as social comparison theory. This theory sheds light on the natural human tendency to evaluate our own worth and abilities by sizing ourselves up against others. It's like having an internal scorekeeper that constantly checks how we're doing compared to everyone around us. Festinger identified two main types of comparisons we tend to make. First, there's upward comparison. This is when you find yourself measuring your achievements or talents against someone you see as more successful or talented than you are. Think of it like looking up at the stars. These people seem so far ahead in life that they almost shine above us. While this can be a great motivator, pushing you to strive for better and achieve more, it often comes with a darker side. Feelings of inadequacy or envy can creep in if you're not careful. Then there's downward comparison. Imagine standing on top of a mountain and looking down. This happens when you're comparing yourself to someone who appears worse off than you are. This can give your self-esteem a nice little boost because at least you're doing better than them. But beware, if you lean too heavily on these kinds of comparisons for validation, it might actually stunt your true personal growth and self-improvement. Back in the day before social media took over our lives, these comparisons were mostly limited to our immediate circle. Family gatherings where everyone shared their latest news, friends who lived down the street, or folks from local communities you'd bump into regularly. Nowadays, thanks to platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, where everyone's highlight reels are front and center 24/7, we're constantly comparing ourselves, not just with those in our physical proximity, but with literally thousands of people all over the globe whom we don't even know personally. So why should this matter? Well, understanding these different types of social comparisons can really help you become more aware of how they might be impacting your self-perception and overall well-being. By recognizing when you're caught up in one type of comparison or another and how it's making you feel, you can start taking steps towards healthier habits and a happier sense of self. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok go beyond merely expanding our social circles. They curate an idealized version of life by showcasing meticulously selected highlights, such as exotic vacations, career achievements like promotions, romantic dinners by candlelight, seemingly perfect family gatherings, and gym selfies highlighting peak fitness. This content is often edited to perfection, with filters applied to enhance its appeal. Social media platforms have cleverly devised systems that quantify our popularity, through metrics like likes, followers, and comments. These platforms are literally built on fostering comparisons between users. We find ourselves constantly measuring how our posts are received compared to others, which impacts us more profoundly than we might care or dare to admit. Why does this matter so much? Because being continually bombarded with these comparisons can alter our perception of personal achievements. It often leads us to undervalue what we have accomplished because we're too busy measuring it against someone else's curated highlight reel. Let's take a moment for some introspection here. Have you recently had an experience where social media made you second guess your own accomplishments or happiness? What was it that triggered those feelings of doubt? All right, now that we know social media amplifies comparisons, let's explore how these comparisons impact your self-esteem. Social media is often described as everyone's highlight reel, a polished and curated showcase of life's best moments. Yet as we endlessly scroll through these seemingly flawless snippets, it's easy to forget that we're merely seeing a carefully edited version of reality. This illusion can lead us to mistakenly believe that such perfection is the norm. As a result, our own jobs, relationships, and daily routines might start to seem less impressive or fulfilling by comparison. Numerous studies back up what many of us have intuitively sensed. Excessive use of social media takes a toll on self-esteem. When we're constantly exposed to others' best lives, it fosters regular upward comparisons that can breed dissatisfaction with our own circumstances. Whether it's career milestones, physical appearance, romantic relationships, or other personal priorities, these aspects become benchmarks against which we measure ourselves. And more often than not, we find ourselves falling short in this skewed comparison. Why does recognizing this matter? Because awareness is the first step towards safeguarding your self-worth amidst the overwhelming tide of highlight reels on social media platforms. By understanding these dynamics, you can begin to shield yourself from losing confidence and perspective in the face of an unattainable ideal. Take a moment for reflection now. Has your self-esteem taken a hit from social media recently? Consider which specific areas of your life tend to trigger these negative feelings most acutely. Is it when you see posts about career achievements? Or perhaps it's images showcasing perfect vacations or seemingly idyllic relationships? Identifying these triggers can be crucial for maintaining your mental well-being in an age dominated by digital impressions. It's clear our self-esteem suffers, but how does this constant comparison influence your overall mental health? Let's dive deeper. Constantly being exposed to seemingly perfect lives on social media. Platforms can significantly contribute to feelings of anxiety and depression. When we spend time browsing through curated posts, showcasing others' successes, adventures, and flawless moments, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-comparison. This often leads to feeling like we're not measuring up, not achieving enough in our own lives, or missing out on experiences that others seem to enjoy effortlessly. This is where the infamous fear of missing out, or FOMO, comes into play. Research has shown that there's a strong link between passive scrolling, where we merely watch and compare without engaging, and an increase in anxiety and depressive symptoms. The more time we spend scrolling aimlessly through these feeds, the more likely we are to experience a spike in negative emotions. This behavior creates a vicious cycle. Scrolling makes us anxious or upset. This anxiety drives us back online, seeking distraction or validation, and before long, we're caught in a repetitive loop. Why does this matter? Understanding the harmful impact of passive scrolling on mental health is crucial because it empowers you with the knowledge needed to change your habits and break free from this damaging cycle. By becoming more conscious of how your social media use affects your well-being, you can take steps towards healthier engagement patterns. Take a moment to reflect on your own social media usage. Do you notice feeling more anxious or down after spending time online? Are there specific accounts or particular habits that seem to trigger these feelings within you? Identifying these factors is an important first step towards fostering a healthier relationship with digital spaces. Now we will explore a surprising contradiction: how social media, designed to connect us, might make us lonelier. Here's the irony. Social media platforms, initially designed with the noble goal of bringing us closer together, often end up creating a paradoxical effect by making us feel more isolated. As we scroll through endless feeds filled with images and stories of friends or even complete strangers having the time of their lives, whether they're exploring exotic destinations, enjoying lively parties, or attending thrilling events, we can't help but sometimes feel like we're missing out, and it can intensify feelings of loneliness. Interestingly enough, the impact of social media on our sense of loneliness isn't a one-size-fits-all scenario. For instance, many older adults who use platforms like Facebook to stay in touch with family members and old friends actually report feeling less lonely. For them, these digital interactions serve as a valuable connection lifeline that bridges geographical distances. The crucial factor here seems to be the intention behind using these platforms and the specific context in which they are used. Why does this matter? Because your purpose for engaging with social media directly affects whether it will become a positive force that strengthens your sense of connection or a negative influence that leaves you feeling isolated. Take a moment to consider why you use social media. Are your interactions fostering deeper relationships and enriching your life? Or do they leave you feeling more disconnected and alone? Reflecting on this could lead to more intentional use that enhances rather than detracts from your well-being. Finally, let's dive into a major area of comparison that can't be overlooked: body image. Social media platforms, particularly those that focus on visuals like Instagram and TikTok, play a huge role in amplifying body image concerns. Even though there are positive movements towards embracing all body types and celebrating diversity, the constant stream of perfectly curated images can still mess with our heads. It often leads to feelings of dissatisfaction and anxiety about our own bodies. This pressure can sometimes push people towards unhealthy behaviors, like extreme dieting or working out excessively in an attempt to measure up to these unrealistic standards. But why does this matter so much? Well, by being aware of how social media impacts our perception of ourselves, we can take steps to shield our mental and physical well-being from these often unattainable ideals. Recognizing these effects is crucial because it empowers us to question what we see online. So let's break down what we've figured out today. Constantly comparing ourselves to others on social media can seriously impact our self-esteem, mental health, feelings of loneliness, and even how we view our bodies. Recognizing these effects gives us the power to rethink and change the way we interact with social media. By being more mindful about our online habits, we can make healthier choices that protect our well-being and help us engage in a way that's more supportive and positive for ourselves. Thanks for cruising with me today. Until next time, stay connected and keep cruising toward your own clarity.
Stay tuned in, I hope you're coming back. A place you can grow, vibe out and relax. Time to get clarity, time to find joy. Find your inner self, discover and explore. Ayy, yeah, cruising for clarity with a therapist.